Check it out, Jarrett. We got a porcupine. What do you think?
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, Adam got it for us. I told him I wanted a porcupine, and he said, all right. So kept an eye out. So he got this for us, Adam Craig Outdoors. So what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna make an earth oven. So we're gonna pull all the quills off, and then we're gonna dig a nice big hole, and we're gonna heat up some hot rocks and some coals, and we're gonna dump it all down in the hole after we wrap it up. And tomorrow it should be nice and cooked and steamed. And then we'll add maybe some corn gruel, or come up with some other wild edibles to come with it. So what do you think? Looks good?
Sounds like a good idea.
All right, let's do this up.
All right.
So we gotta get some burdock to cover up the porcupine. So just at my favorite farm field there, I'm just gonna grab a bunch of leaves, and that'll work to wrap up the porcupine, protect it when we're cooking it in the earth oven. So just gonna grab a bunch of these. Easy peasy, everybody knows what burdock is. Makes a good blanket.
About halfway done dequilling this porcupine. So this bag here, if we just get a quick shot of that, that represents half the quills on a porcupine, approximately. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to be able to scald off whatever's left. I think we could scald them all off, but I'm saving some for some traditional crafts. And once we've got the bulk of them off, we'll be able to roll this guy around in the fire coals, singe off the rest of the hair, and then scrape it down, and then we might be able to eat the skin after.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, it hurts, but it doesn't really stick in. It hurts because they always end up right under my nail. But I've done that many, I've only been quilled 4 times, so that doesn't seem so bad.
So you think we won't be able to eat the skin?
I don't know.
But it's going to keep the moisture in.
It
anyway.
depends on how much time we want to spend trying to scald and scrape. Like I've done it with a pig before, and it's a fair bit of work. But they're also quite a bit larger, right? So it's possible.
It's a big job anyway.
Like when you look in close, there's lots of little baby quills. And so it's slow if you're trying to go through and get all those guys out. Maybe the scald and scrape will do it. Or it's not scalding when you put them in the coals. What is it? Singeing.
Scorch or singe.
Yeah, scorch and scrape. So we'll try it. Almost done.
Someone wants us to eat a porcupine.
Yeah.
doesn't smell as bad as I thought it would.
No.
So we're just singeing off the rest of the hair and the quills. Gonna burn them off, and then we're gonna scrape it after that, and then we'll be ready to send it into the earth after we get a nice hot fire and heat up those rocks. Did a good job where those quills were in.
Yeah. I guess your time is well spent dequilling. Hopefully all the pointy ends have scorched off at least. Looks like a beaver now.
It does. Looks like a totally different animal.
Or a really fat otter.
It's so wrong.
We did a pretty good job getting the hair scraped off. Considering we started with only a half-bald porcupine.
What does it look like?
Looks good.
A beaver with
Look
no...
at, if you look close, look at how good that meat looks just under the skin.
Nice.
Like a piece of chicken.
I mean, it looks like something totally not a porcupine anymore.
Yeah, looks like something you'd dig out of an archaeological site or something.
And the
right?
tail on it looks like it's just full of fat.
Yeah. We'll find out soon, I think. Uh-oh. Oh. Too deep. Maybe not. Not punctured.
Oh, you're so lucky. You gotta remember it's all bloated in there.
Yeah. Under pressure?
You want some goggles?
No, I think it's okay.
You talk about what you're doing? That makes it educational.
Sure. So, well, very luckily I cut mostly only through the skin. And then this is the membrane that's holding all the body cavity, right? Up here, there's the sternum. You can see it. It looks like a white tongue. And you can feel the ribs start here. So there'll be a diaphragm and all the organs will be up on this end, all the guts down at this end.
You can't really cut through the sternum. I mean, you can,
Yeah.
but not easily with a knife, and you don't really want to right
No.
now, right? You just want to
I just wanna-
free up the front and free up the back, essentially.
Yeah. So I'm going to cut around the anus, and they'll be in the pelvic girdle, right? So the anus will go through a hole in the bone. So you want to open up all around that bone.
Same as a deer,
So yeah, same as a deer.
any
And
other animal.
Most people who are interested to watch this probably have,
Never done it.
yeah, or they're familiar with having seen it or done it on other animals, maybe.
I like to imagine, well, I don't imagine it, it's a real scientific thing that animals are tubes in tubes.
Yeah.
They're basically two tubes.
Yeah.
So there's the coelomic cavity, which is basically any animal that has a digestive system inside its body. So you can imagine your mouth is your mouth travels to your anus, and then that's the tube, and the tube's inside your other tube, which is your body.
I think those are testicles, but I might be wrong. Maybe they're something else. Mammary glands.
Or I think they're the mammary glands. It was a female, right? It had udders. Well, I guess the males have udders too sometimes.
Nipples.
Those are testicles?
I
They
don't
have
know.
them inside their body? That would be unusual.
For the testicles to be on the outside.
At the inside?
Well, they're under the skin, but they're outside of the cavity, right? That's why I thought they might be. I might be wrong.
Who knows?
Edit me out if I'm wrong.
How many times have you done a porcupine gut job?
0.2.
Are we gonna find maybe there's some scent glands in there that we should remove?
I don't know. Did you read about it?
I didn't. I did
So
not do
we're
that.
really just going in here blind.
Pretty much. So that you're just loosening it from the bone.
Yeah, same as on a deer. We should do a good deer video sometime.
Yeah.
So on a deer, what I would do is, like, there's little attachments of the tube inside, and they attach to the wall of that pelvic girdle. And if you can work your way around, it's still pretty cold inside, eh? Like refrigerator temperature. If you work your way around, then the tube loosens up and you can pull it out through the inside.
Yeah, you want to pull that in through the front, because obviously you can't pull
Everything out through
the
the
stomach
pelvis.
and everything else is attached to it, because really everything is kind of attached to the tube, or at least the diaphragm,
Yeah.
near the front. So you have to detach the throat at the front to detach the full tube.
Yeah.
Watch your knife; it doesn't
Yeah.
get the gut there
Oh yeah.
while
I
you're
was
moving.
more
While
thinking
you,
about my fingers.
yeah, well, there's that too.
So there's all the insides of a porcupine, which are pretty
And what does a porcupine eat? Bark, no?
yeah, lots of bark and twigs. Ooh, there's ice in there. Brr!
Really?
Whoa.
It's still frozen.
Yeah. I feel a liver and a stomach and all the goods frozen in there.
Now's a good time to probably talk about how porcupine's a survival food, and natives would have paid attention to where porcupines were in case they were hungry, and then revisit those sites to get the porcupine when they needed them. The porcupine is not exactly a difficult animal to hunt. It's almost like they were put on the planet to solve man's issues with famine, because you could literally walk up to it and club it, and that's what they did.
Fishers are kind of famous for eating porcupines.
Yeah. You can imagine it's pretty hard for an animal to pull a quill out.
They'll flip them over and attack the underside of the porcupine, which I guess in some of our footage you might have noticed that there's well, there are no quills on the bottom. I think it would be hard for it to feed its babies if it had quills on the bottom of its belly. They'd have to have armored faces. There's a full bladder there, which I'm trying to
Avoid puncturing.
not puncture.
Is this why you're doing it and I'm not doing it?
Yeah, you famous for bladder puncture?
Well, I kind of just get in there and get it done, and if it gets a little bit of tainting, then I'll eat it.
The last deer that I shot, I cleaned it perfectly. I cut, when you talk about it being a tube in a tube, so I cut all around the anus perfectly, pulled it through the bottom, and I cut the windpipe, which ultimately attaches to the lungs, to the heart, to the liver, and everything else. And I reached in and I grabbed it at the neck end and the butt end, and I pulled out everything in one big go, and it left a perfectly clean cavity.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, ideally.
You don't want all the junk in the cavity.
No. So,
So you're getting the back tube out.
trying.
Really, that's the hardest part, is to get that out without puncturing it.
Yep, for sure.
So after we do this,
There it
we're
is.
gonna wrap it up. wrap it in the burdock and some leaves and whatnot, and put it in the earth oven. Is that your good shirt you're wearing?
It's my good adventure shirt.
It's not your Sunday shirt?
It's kind of a nice shirt, but it replaces the shirt that I wear for a lot of my bush adventures. Kind of is at the end of its life.
There we go. There's lots of membrane in there.
Yeah. It's forever.
You can just throw that over in the bag and we'll throw it down by the creek and something else can have a dinner.
It does look a little bit like a beaver this way. I guess they're pretty closely related, so it makes sense. Whoa. Leaning tower of rocks.
You want to put some inside?
Can.
Okay.
This way. Sounds good.
There's one down there I can't get. That one's way too hot that way when I'm not even touching that one.
I'll get it.
There's no way I'm doing that one. She's a steaming.
Woo!
Got the shovel?
Yep. All right, dirt.
that's it. Tomorrow we check it, and hopefully it's cooked. I think we did a good job.
It's not that big of an animal, so
You think we did a good job?
we did a great job.
I'm gonna do it like that. Yeah, so we'll come back tomorrow and check it out. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's hot enough. We want to make sure it cooks and steams and slow cooks. So we'll check whenever we're hungry tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll dig
After
it up.
lunch sometime, lunchtime.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
Overnight at least 8 hours or so. 8, 9, 10 hours. Yeah, should be good. Check it tomorrow.
Cool.
Smells like popcorn.
Smells like popcorn? Yeah, it smells like popcorn.
Exactly like popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're making corn bread.
Yep.
From field corn. This is the worst quality corn you can possibly imagine because they feed it to cows.
Yeah, so we're super excited about it.
I've had it before and it's not bad. And I've had it with the mortar pestle.
Yep.
It's passable. As a gruel. As a cornbread,
We're about to find out.
we're gonna find out. Yeah.
But we're going to sweeten it with a few things.
Yeah, so you added what's this?
That's pork fat
Pork fat.
Yeah.
Just chunks of pork fat.
Yeah.
Pork fat.
from a pig I raised.
From your pig you
Yeah, it's
raised.
special pork
So
fat.
it's agricultural pig.
Yeah, field grazed pig.
And we got
We'll throw in an egg or two.
eggs, blueberries you picked.
Yep.
And wild strawberries that we picked today from the property. So we're just gonna mix all this together.
Yeah.
We're gonna put some maple sugar. I
Yes,
think you want to.
we can. For sure.
Also from the property here,
And the water is also from the property.
from the well,
From the property here.
from the property here.
Oh, it's going to be a massive cornbread.
Who bushcrafted this stirring stick?
Somebody special.
Yeah, there you go. I'll give you the honors of
You
massaging
want to
that in
beat
there.
the egg in first?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
2 eggs?
You know what?
There's a shout out to my friend Nick Harfield. Left or right? You pick. Left or right?
Right.
Oh, left. You lose.
You might as well throw a bunch in there because these are not coming back.
We're going to play left right again. We jumped the gun.
They look a little funny.
3? Well, they're pale.
Why is they so pale?
Because they're not from the property. They're from somebody's property far away.
Did you want more than that?
3 is good. Yeah?
Pork fat?
Yeah, we'll stir it in after. So if you add a little bit of water as I mix with this really amazing mixing tool.
It's teamwork. I've got a lot of sugar.
That's plenty. Because we're going to put maple syrup on it after too, right?
Oh, and I have choke cherry jam
Oh, man. And butter.
and butter.
Yeah. Okay, more water. More water.
I suppose we can let this sit too. Let the
Develop flavor. Character.
let the corn absorb the water and soften up a bit.
Yep. More water. That might be exactly the amount. You want to do one strawberry cornbread and one blueberry cornbread?
Yeah.
Alright.
I guess we could do mixed, but maybe the strawberry one could be that one, the smaller
Sure.
one, because you got more blueberries here, I think.
Yeah.
Are you excited about the porcupine?
I am. Very.
You know, it's been sitting there since last night, and we're about 4 p.m.-ish, maybe 5 p.m. now.
Yeah.
So it's
Close, over 20 hours.
been 20 hours.
Yep.
It might be cold. Warm?
Hot.
Hot. It's hot.
We'll see.
We'll see. It's always an experiment.
Okay, you want to do the honors with the gloves?
Oh, yeah. Just wondering how you're going to do that. You're not going to use your bush spoon.
Just do a little bit at a time.
We might be here for a while, folks. Okay. Alright, strawberries in. Mmm, that looks fantastic.
How many blueberries?
All
How many
of them.
blueberries? All of them.
All of them. Well, that's a little rich. That's a little rich.
It's gonna be just fine. Don't worry.
I think it's going to be gruey.
Yeah, that's okay. It'll be like maybe this one's a corn cobbler.
So we're hoping that the heat stayed in.
It's hot.
It's hot, yeah.
It's hot enough on the top that I'll be careful if I reach under it to lift it out. There it is.
Okay. We haul this out.
Yep. Smells like steamed vegetables.
Now what to do about the dirt?
Well, hopefully it's, as we peel it back, because we had all those big leaves, it should be relatively clean. Oh, there's a hand.
Is he okay? Oh, it's got a little bit of mud in there. Whew. Interesting smell.
Is that leg gonna pull right off the bone?
Are we gonna try to do that? Maybe we should try to clean it first.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of mud on there, which we don't want to eat. Oh, its hand, it touched me. Okay, let's put it there. There we go. That's what we're gonna eat, folks. Yep. That's dinner, guys. I think. Thoughts?
Lots?
Thoughts?
Thoughts? That's a lot of porcupine to eat. We'll see. I'm gonna wash first.
Yeah. I think I'm ready. Psychologically ready, physically ready.
Oh,
Dude, this is nasty.
we should do a video on how to make camp chairs.
Oh, you're crooked. You're a little crooked.
Oh, uh-oh.
Little
I'm
tiny.
crooked or the camera's crooked?
That's not bad. It's just slopey. I think you're alright.
Because I'm leaning forward in anticipation. Oh, I put my hand on my muddy pants. Gross.
That's honestly the least of your concerns.
Is it? I think so.
I'm I'm literally extremely turned off by this at this moment in time. I'm gonna be honest. I am. Yeah.
I would say that does not look cooked.
It looks freaking raw.
That's pretty pink, eh?
That looks nasty.
I can't reach further.
Looks just rotten.
Huh.
You first.
Well, I'm not going to eat it if it's not cooked.
Come on. Be a sport.
Raw porcupine?
Okay. Yeah, it's really tender though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
like
like
how
fall
can
off-
it
fall
can't
off the
be
bone.
it can't be raw if it's that tender. That must be cooked.
You fir-
Maybe it's just like a pink meat.
You first.
It's a really sweet meat.
Yeah. Does it taste cooked?
Yeah.
How many parasites do porcupine carry?
Lots if you're a tree. They are a parasite.
How is it?
Now that maybe the surface is just cooked from when we scorched it.
Like it's not cooked all the way deep?
I don't know.
I'm not saying we're gonna waste it at this point, but I don't think I'm gonna eat raw porcupine.
Those are clear juices inside.
It doesn't look half bad. You want to Google how many parasites porcupine carry before I eat that?
No, they don't care. I'm sure. I'm not
I'm
sure.
going on a trip for a week. If I get sick before I go, I'm in trouble. It looks pretty good. Does it taste good?
Yeah.
That's the problem with the earth oven, right straight up, is that you don't know if it's cooked because you really don't know. You can't gauge the temperature.
It's too tender to be raw, I think. It'll spit out after. It won't get saliva parasites. You might get saliva parasites.
It smells good. It smells like wild game again.
Mm-hmm.
Like raccoon and hare and everything else. That's
The skin's like, that's probably from scorching it. It's peeling off almost.
all right. I'll be a sport.
Oh, you didn't eat it yet.
No. I'm thinking maybe we should cook it, like maybe fry it or something. Should we fry it?
We can, yeah. Even just to reheat it, because it's cooled down quite a bit, right? We can take it all apart. Fry up some pieces. It's good.
It's good. All right, it's good.
It's good, but it doesn't look cooked necessarily.
It's been steamed.
Yeah. But steamed meat is still cooked meat.
Well, you guys saw how many rocks we put in there. We put
Yeah, a big pile of rocks.
a big pile of rocks and we left it for 10 hours to cool. Or
Damp earth, though. I don't know if that makes a difference.
it probably
But-
makes a difference.
Yeah.
That meat's really good though. That's like roast beef you would get from a store. Like that's
So where's the hip joint on a porcupine?
they don't have hips.
Sure they do.
They just ambulate
There,
without hips.
there's a hip joint.
There we go. I mean that doesn't look bad. That looks like a kind of medium rare.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. It's not quite there yet in my opinion.
No, but see that side? That all looks good.
That side looks
It's
fine.
this pinky stuff here with the fat. Like maybe it's just like a pink fat. I don't know.
That looks like a well done, like a pretty fairly done piece of roast beef.
You can just reheat it a little bit, right? Just cook it up a little bit in a pan.
Yeah.
Sounds fair to me.
It's a really fatty skin.
Yeah, very.
You could eat that skin, right?
If
If you were really hungry.
yeah, if we were
You can save some of that back. The skin and just try to eat the skin. Try it.
yeah,
What if we fry it in
Sure.
the skin?
fry it separately.
Yeah.
Just because we don't want to. If it doesn't work, we don't want to wreck a whole batch of porcupine. Should be a right in there somewhere. Right there. There it is.
Doesn't look really bad. Meat. Doesn't look totally right either. That's what we managed to get. Fairly good pot of good meat. We're just looking at the tail here now.
It's like they're really big. I think he's got bigger tail vertebrae than vertebrae. It feels like it's all bone. There's a little meat and fat in it.
Oh, you're right. Very tough. You can see there's not too much left here. But this meat's really greasy. It's cooking with the skin on has made it very, 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 very oily.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to what you get from a turkey cooking it. So keeping the skin on was definitely beneficial. Check this out. Wow. That's perfect. And it smells like blueberries. Delicious. It's very hot though.
There are a few blueberries in there.
A few blueberries. Let me see. How was that? You getting that?
That's super close up. Yeah.
How was that? Better?
Yeah, that's great.
Better?
Oh, it looks good at any distance.
Oh, I am excited for that.
It's got some moisture sound in there, eh?
Yeah, I think it's just got just the right colors of everything in there. Porcupine is served. Okay, so porcupine.
Yeah. Let's scoop me some.
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah.
I'll get you
You're
deep.
closer.
Where's your bowl?
Well, it's too hard to cut inside my bowl, so
Oh.
I'm gonna cut up my lid here.
Well, we kind of already know what the porcupine tastes like. It's like pulled pork now. Yeah. Can you cut it without a knife? No, you cannot
No.
do that.
No. You can eat it without one, though. What we're gonna do is flip that upside down and put a little bit of butter on the hot side.
Flavor. Wild leeks. So that's our blueberry corn meal bread. You're gonna eat it naked? You put some butter on there.
I put butter on it. So the corn chunks in this one, I think, are crunchier than the corn chunks in the other one.
That's interesting.
Maybe because it's drier.
Porcupine's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like porcupine.
I like
Yeah.
it.
What else have we eaten that we compare it to? Hare? Better than hare.
Yep.
No?
Because the hair was tough. You didn't like the hair because it's tough, right?
Yeah, this is not
That
tough.
was if we would have done a hair this way, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah,
than it was.
I agree. Yeah, it would be a great way to cook a hare. Watch, it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. Oh, and it went the wrong way. Look at this guy, so lazy. Did I get the stink eye?
You just want...
Here, I'll go get it for you.
Oh, thanks.
There you go.
I did make that.
It's true.
Look at this. Spreadable and incredible. Like Cheese Whiz. That's good choke tray jam. That's really good.
Well, thank you.
Nicely done. You're almost done.
Someone wants us to eat a porcupine.
Yeah. Woo.
Check it out, Jarrett. We got a porcupine. What do you think?
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, Adam got it for us. I told him I wanted a porcupine, and he said, all right. So he kept an eye out. So he got this for us, Adam Craig Outdoors. So what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna make an earth oven. So we're gonna pull all the quills off, and then we're gonna dig a nice big hole, and we're gonna heat up some hot rocks and some coals, and we're gonna dump it all down in the hole after we wrap it up. And tomorrow it should be nice and cooked and steamed. And then we'll add maybe some corn gruel or
and then we might be able to eat the skin after.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, it hurts, but it doesn't really stick in. It hurts because they always end up right under my nail. But I've done that many. I've only been quilled 4 times, so that doesn't seem so bad.
So you think we won't be able to eat the skin?
I don't know.
But it's going to keep the moisture in
It
anyway.
depends on how much time we want to spend trying to scald and scrape. Like I've done it with a pig before, and it's a fair bit of work. But they're also quite a bit larger, right? So it's possible.
It's a big job anyway.
Like when you look in close, there's lots of little baby quills, and so it's slow if you're trying to go through and get all those guys out. Maybe the scald and scrape will do it, or it's not scalding when you put them in the coals. What is it? Singeing.
Scorch or singe.
Yeah, scorch and scrape. So we'll try it.
Come up with some other wild edibles to come with it. So what do you think? Looks good?
Sounds like a good idea.
All right, let's do this up.
All right.
So we gotta get some burdock to cover up the porcupine. So just at my favorite farm field there, I'm just gonna grab a bunch of leaves, and that'll work to wrap up the porcupine, protect it when we're cooking it in the earth oven. So just gonna grab a bunch of these. Easy peasy, everybody knows what burdock is. It makes a good blanket.
About halfway done de-quilling this porcupine. So this bag here, if we just get a quick shot of that, that represents half the quills on a porcupine, approximately. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to be able to scald off whatever's left. I think we could scald them all off, but I'm saving some for some traditional crafts. And once we've got the bulk of them off, we'll be able to roll this guy around in the fire coals, singe off the rest of the hair, and then scrape it down and